Welcome back to Play With Me Episode 2. We're just starting to research our second science machine as our dupes run around and start and try to keep themselves alive. We are going to plan out some of our rooms a little bit better and replace our floors and our roofs to make sure that everything is a little bit more symmetrical. I do like having my rooms 4 high, but you can make your rooms whatever size you like. I'm going to do something with the plug slugs, which may be unconventional. I'm not actually going to ranch them, but we are going to put them in a place where we can actually take advantage of their power generation at nighttime without actually feeding them or taking care of them at all. Ooh, printing pod. I don't think I necessarily want a new dupe because we still only have 25,000 kcals and we're not really making any food right now, so we're going to stick with the snazzy suit and stick it on auto. And if you go to the top right and click on the star map and click on our planet, you can actually see the different types of geysers that we have available on here. We found our cool slush geyser. There's a cool steam vent. That's nice. That's going to be more water. We have a hydrogen vent. That's going to be power. A cool salt slush geyser. Ooh, man. We have minor volcanoes and a hot polluted oxygen and 4 unknown geysers to find still. There are world traits that we picked at the very beginning, the geoactive, alternative pod location, and frozen core. But those are some great geysers that we have. We're going to be drowning on this planet. Ooh, research is finished, which means that we have our supercomputer ready. I'm going to put it on the left side of our printing pod. I'm going to get rid of this little food bucket. We don't really need it because the majority of the food that we're eating right now is just going to be swamp chard hearts since we're not farming. And we plunk down our science machine, attach it to power. And then that should actually make our science room. Nice. That's a great purple color. All right, and to pick our next science, we were talking about the deodorizers, but I do kind of want to get started on our bathrooms. So we're going to do the bathrooms. We're going to do the showers and the toilets. Oh, and our platform is ready for our plug slugs. So let's try and get down here. I don't want to let any of the plug slugs actually eat any of the metal around our base because they will fart hydrogen. And I just don't want to deal with mixed gases right now. It's not a big deal since hydrogen floats to the top, but it's just something. Now, if you click on the critter and you click move, since we have a duplicate with the rancher skill, we can actually move the critters themselves instead of just waiting for them to lay eggs. So we are going to click on every critter and we are going to move them onto that little platform right there. They can't jump off of the platform because there's no place to jump from. So they will just live circling that little platform, and when they sleep at night, we'll be able to harvest their power generation that they make. There we go. Abe goes and picks up that one little plug slug and sticks him in his new little home floating around that little platform. That's great. Now I made them enter from down here, that way we could actually get rid of some of this and he can get down to that area without being so high and having to wait. Now with the plug slugs, when they are sleeping at night, they hang down from the ceiling and they actually generate power. They generate different amounts of power depending if they're happy or if they're old or if they've recently been fed. Now we're not going to do any of those things, but we can still gather up their power at night to help us recharge the battery when the dupes are sleeping. Oh, one got away from him. Oh no, it went to go eat some of that cobalt ore. And now, oof, if you go to the materials overlay and click on gas, you can actually see what's going to happen. Since he ate, now he farts out some hydrogen gas, which is great for power making, but I don't want to feed them or ranch them in any way for the hydrogen generation. You can, if you would like to get a jump start on hydrogen power, you can absolutely start ranching these plug slugs and harvesting their hydrogen for them. You're just going to have to keep them fed and petted, and then you can harvest their hydrogen. There you go. We got all 3 on their platform. Now I want to focus on making the bathrooms. I really like making sure that they have plumbed bathrooms from the very beginning, sucking up all of that, any extra water that they might make. Oh, see, now it's nighttime. And if you turn on the electrical overlay, you can actually see how much power generation they're actually making. So they hang from any ceiling and they plug into any wire. And you can see that each plug slug is actually generating 400 watts of power, which is a lot. So at nighttime when they're sleeping, they can actually help recharge our batteries. So our batteries will be full in the morning. We just needed them to actually make that one wire. Awesome. So we have all this space to work with. We have some clean water and some polluted water because we're going to need that clean water for the science machine. So I am going to dig and I'm going to try and keep these two waters separate, but I'm going to try and get us access to that clean water for the science machine. And we are still researching the toilets in the bathroom, and we're going to have to start making our toilet in our bathroom pretty quick here. Excellent. There we go. So now that we've finished the washrooms, I'm going to need, if we are focusing on the bathrooms, then I am going to need the refinery to turn the polluted water into clean water. So let's find the sieve. Here we go. And we'll need that for the bathrooms. It needs both sciences for that. So we're going to research the sieve so that we can put it down and we can actually make our proper bathrooms. We're still living off of the swamp charred hearts and the wild bog buckets that we've found, which is fine, but I would like to make a farm at some point, so I will be making some room to be able to make some farm. Oh, we have skills. I completely forgot. Otto, we got to give him the skill to be actually use the other science machine, and then we can start researching with the purple research. All right, so we're just going to make some more room in the base here. Carbon dioxide is still floating down, which is perfect. We are currently still living off of swamp charred hearts and wild bog buckets that we've found. One of the other sources of food on this planet is paku. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a paku farm. We're going to make a fish farm. We can't fully automate it since we don't have we don't have a dupe with the mechatronic skill, but we're going to need to create some space for our big fish farm that we're going to have. I have a design that I normally go for. It's nice and it's compact. It holds 4 fish to make babies and everything else we eat. And we're just going to try and fit that underneath our printing pot over here. So it'll be close enough to the rest of the base that the fish won't be super far away. Not that fish require any maintenance, but let's see. All right, now we just watch the dupes slowly build on it and dig their way out. Oh, we got another printing pod. And again, I don't really have too much food generation just yet, so I'm going to go with the Joya seeds because I love Joya seeds. They are my absolute favorite plant. They can live from 0 degrees to 100 degrees, so it doesn't matter what temperature your base is, they will always live. Oh, and we can research something else. We were focused on the bathrooms, but we got the sieve down, we got the toilets and the showers. We still need the liquid reservoir, but we want to start cleaning up this air. So let's research the deodorizer. And now I'm going to make our pump so that we can actually pump some of all of this polluted water that's coming down into the base back into the fish farm and give it some power. Now we've given the dupes a lot of tasks, so we're just going to watch them do their thing for a while. While hopefully trying not to get them stuck. Oh, and I see a trapped dupe somewhere. On the top right, you can see that there is a notification for a trapped dupe. If you click on it, it will zoom into the dupe, and Hassan has gotten himself stuck in some falling debris. Good job, Hassan. All right, let's go back to actually fast forwarding and watching our dupes make this little fish farm that we have going on, hopefully not trapping themselves again. If we click on the maintenance view and check out our gas, we can actually see that our oxygen is getting a little bit thin. Our carbon dioxide is floating up a little bit too high because we don't have enough oxygen pressure. And so we're going to get the sublimation station, which actually uses all of those polluted dirts and actually makes oxygen out of it. So we're going to plunk that down and make it a priority 9. That way they make it immediately. And that thing is going to be filled up with polluted dirt, and it is going to start making us some oxygen. I'm going to set it on a priority 9 to make sure that the dupes actually keep it topped up. And that is going to give us some beautiful air. We are still trying to research the deodorizers so that all of this air that we're making will be cleaned eventually. But I just need to get some of this clean water for the science machine so we can actually start researching it. All right, and this puddle of water that we've prevented from falling down earlier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get it into the fish pond. That way we don't have to pump as much. So I'm going to block off the ladder so it doesn't fall to the very bottom and deconstruct that tile in the bathroom. And hopefully it will spill in. There we go. There we go. That's an easy way of filling up a tank instead of using a pump. Now we just wait for that to go through a little bit. And then we can go back to plugging it up, and we have more space for our bathrooms and our shower room without the threat of any water falling in our head. There we go. Now we're going to dig out our bathroom a little bit more so that we have more room for our toilets and washrooms. And we're going to do it while we still have that plugged in so we can actually... Oh, of course he did. Of course, Abe. Well, they'll dig them out at least. As long as no one makes the roof, they'll dig them out. Oh, the dupes. The dupes get themselves into such messes, don't they? There we go. Well, that worked out well, at least. All right, we're going to mop this up so they can actually use the toilets, because right now the toilets are drowning. And we're going to mop up the toilet water. Oh, I found a fish. All right, we're just going to move that fish into the pond already. Fish can live outside of the pond and just flop around without actually having any water. But we're going to move him into the pond so that he's a little bit happier. All right, now we're going to start organizing our toilets and showers. And I just realized that I put that door in the wrong spot, which means this room is actually going to be a little bit smaller than I thought it was. That's okay. Okay, let's focus on getting that clean water so that we can actually get our science machine running. We'll mop up the pea water so it doesn't mix with the bad water, and we're going to stick our pitcher pump in that area so that we can actually get some clean water for the science machine. Oh, and we have a new printing pod. Again, I still don't have any farms actually made down, and we're surviving on the same amount, and every single dupe is a destructive dupe. And I am not a fan of destructive dupes. So we're just gonna stick with the oxalite, and we'll have some fresh air. We can't get above the ladder on the left because of the fossilite in the way. We don't have a dupe with that skill just yet that can dig through it. That's okay, but that means our bathroom is gonna be held off for a bit. There is dirt on top. So let's just watch our dupes do their thing. Our pond for our fishes is going very nicely. We have Abe gathering up some water for our science machine. And we have our happy little plug slugs wandering around on their little platform. This is doing pretty good. Let's extend this out a little bit and actually make another room. Therefore, we can do something with this room. And the way that I've positioned the fish tank is we're going to have a little 2-floor maintenance room in between the 2 floors right there. I'm going to want to harvest that polluted water eventually. The faster we get to harvesting some of that polluted water, the faster we're going to be able to just stock up on some water so that we won't have any water problems in the future. And we've given the dupes quite a few tasks to do again, so we're just going to watch them do their thing. And we're going to design our fish tank a little bit more. And our Our science is over. We've researched the deodorizer, which means that we can start plunking those guys down and actually clean our air, which means that we can focus on the planting. We can get the grill up. We can get some food generation. We have so much polluted water here that we can start growing some bog buckets. And then we can make enough food so that we can get another dupe. All right, so we have our fish farm going. We have oxygen generation from our polluted dirt. We have our plug slugs. And our base is looking pretty good at cycle 10.